Hey guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to the Dyslexic Reader. Today I have a friend with me. Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Wes. I'm Hannah's friend.
And today we are going to talk about
Harry Potter.
And we are going to discuss, in our opinions, what are the 10 most powerful wizards in the Harry Potter world.
We should clarify though that we have taken Voldemort, Dumbledore and Grindelwald off this list because we figured those would be the top 3 in most people's lists.
Exactly, so we thought that basically took it from a top 10 down to a top 7. So we decided that they were exempt from the list, but what we're going to do is we're going to start at number 10 and work our way up to what we think is our most powerful wizard, excluding
Those three.
My number 10 is a controversial one because I couldn't think of a number 10, so I have someone's corner that I want to fight, and I think he is a powerful wizard, but people don't recognise him for who he is, and that's Neville Longbottom. And I want you to hear me out on this, okay?
Okay, no, I'm listening.
Because we see throughout the whole series that right from the start of the first book, the wand chooses the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And the wand's really important. When Harry uses Hermione's wand in the final book, he can just about do competent magic.
Yeah.
But Neville always uses his father's wand.
He uses his dad's old wand.
So of course it's not going to work good.
Okay.
Plus, you've got the whole thing where his self-esteem is at rock bottom the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Not only have his family put him down and basically called him a squib, but his, most, which is harsh in the Harry Potter world, his, biggest fear in life is one of his teachers. So how are you meant to perform at school under that? And in the DA and stuff, I think Neville really shines. And I think if Neville had a bit of self-confidence and his own wand, he would be a really powerful wizard.
Okay, fair. I can see that. I wouldn't say he's naturally exceptionally talented though. I think it takes Neville a lot of work in the 5th one. It takes his parents would-be murderers breaking out to
Yeah, but would you not say that that's because of his kind of self-esteem and setbacks throughout life?
I don't know, I feel like that's a bit deep for what we're going into.
He's working hard because he has a lot of things to overcome before he even starts to tackle magic. Poor little Neville's been through a rough time.
Okay, I can kind of see where you're going. I think he would be powerful, but he is not. I don't think he'd be one of my
I just couldn't think of a number 10 and wanted to fight Neville's corner.
Okay. Mine's not really controversial, it's more just cheating, because we did say that we wouldn't put more than one person in each number.
Okay.
But I ignored that rule for my 10th, so I went James and Lily together, along with Sirius, because it's like a bromance.
Yeah.
My reasoning was, James and Lily, Hagrid says in the first book that they're smartest people in Hogwarts in their year, and they were head boy and head girl. And they both managed to escape Voldemort 3 separate times before before they die. So, and they were both in the Order of the Phoenix. So, it just kind of makes me think, you must be pretty good to be able to escape Voldemort.
See, I was going to put one of them as my 10, but then couldn't choose, and that's why I went with Neville, because I couldn't pick which one would be more powerful. I was swaying on the side of James because he was an animagus, which is
Transfiguration
no
is the hardest, meant to be the hardest subject, so I could see that, yeah. But then I suppose we have the whole thing, Lily being Muggleborn, which no discrimination against Muggleborns, but she came from a pretty Mugglish background, so. But anyway,
so she had a lot to learn before she even reached sort of the starting block.
Yeah. So, well, I think that the first one went pretty well.
I think we agreed pretty well. Yeah. We didn't have the same people, but I think we
can appreciate
came to terms.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with my number 9. And can we confirm that we do not know what each other's lists are?
Yes, we don't. Yeah,
we have them written down, but we have no idea what the other person put. For my number 9, I put Alistair Moody.
Okay.
Because I think that he shows a great skill across many fields. He was said to be one of the greatest Aurors of all time, which I understand is more being better at your job, but you have to be incredibly talented and educated to even get into the field, and then to excel and come to the top. I think you must have a good level of skill.
Yeah. Okay. Moody is on my list.
Okay.
But he's quite a bit higher up, but he is on the list. My number 9 is Hermione.
Okay.
Because granted, most of the other wizards, like on my list, I don't know about yours, are like in their adulthood.
Yes.
Whereas Hermione is still only 17 by the end of the books.
Yeah.
So I feel like we haven't seen Hermione in her prime. But she does eventually become Minister for Magic in The Cursed Child. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Which I barely take as canon.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I'm enjoying it is because it makes, it's quite a cool story for Hermione to see how she progresses.
Yeah,
the rest
true.
of the story I think is horrendous. But, and J.K. Rowling describes Hermione as borderline genius. And, now let me get this right, I think it was her, Luna and Ginny who went up against Bellatrix.
Yeah.
In the 7th one. So, I mean, she's clearly pretty competent and...
As a child.
Yeah, as a child, against Voldemort's right-hand lieutenant. Like, that's pretty good going. And she gets, 9 outstandings in her WLs and 1 exceeds expectations. So, yeah. And let's not forget, she is the one who effectively keeps Harry and Ron alive while they're camping in the 7th one.
Oh yeah, the books couldn't happen without her.
Oh yeah, they'd be dead by, like, Devil's Snare.
There's very few characters, I think, that you could subtract from the story and Harry would still make it. And she's one of them.
She's
I
pretty
don't think you could take her out.
I'm trying to think what's the earliest point Harry would have died without her.
In the Philosopher's Stone, where she works out the riddle of the potions and he's stuck in the fiery room.
Devil's Snare, I would have said
Oh,
first.
the Devil's Snare, yeah. Oh no, it was Ron. It was Ron who came up with, like, the light thing.
But it's Hermione who reminds them how to do
About
it.
the light. You're true. That's true.
Anyway, yes.
It would be very early on anyway.
Yes.
It wouldn't have been a 7-book series.
They'd be dead. Anyway, a bit of a digression, but there you go. That's my number 9.
Hermione is on my list, but a little bit higher.
Okay, right.
Okay. Now, mine. What are we on?
Let's
8?
just remember as well, Hermione punched Draco Malfoy in the face, which is a fabulous...
Major bonus points.
fabulous moment for all involved.
Major bonus points. My number 8 is Flitwick.
Okay.
Because he is said to be one of the best charm casters ever, and he's also quite good in a duel. And I think he is very just well respected, and I think because of his personality, he's maybe overlooked a little bit because he doesn't put himself out there as much as others. But I think he's got a quiet confidence, and he is very meticulous in his field, and that's why he's number 8 on my list.
He's also on my list, but slightly higher.
Okay.
But I'd agree with you on being a good duelist. He's apparently a dueling champion. You hear that in the second one. But the person who is my number 8 is connected to Flitwick in some way. So my number 8 is Dolohov. So one of the Death Eaters. So I feel Dolohov in the book gets overshadowed a lot because you've got Bellatrix, who is a bit of a psycho, but everyone loves her.
Yeah.
And you've got the Malfoy, so you've got the big name Death Eaters. And Dolohov just kind of gets skated over. But let's not forget, he did pretty well in the Department of Mysteries.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember who he beat, but I do remember...
He beats Moody.
No, Bellatrix beats Moody in that one.
Yeah, but he beats Moody at the Battle of
Does he?
Hogwarts. He definitely beats Moody at some point.
Okay. Well, we can see he does pretty well in Department of Mysteries. He is also the one to kill Remus Lupin, unfortunately.
True.
Which is a very sad moment. So I just feel that Dolohov gets skidded over an awful lot. And he also killed the Pruitt brothers. Albeit I think it takes like a bunch of Death Eaters to kill them. Like it's outside of the books.
It's a big group.
Yeah, but he's still pretty accomplished, I think. So, yeah, that's my number 8. But you will see how he ties into Flitwick later. I'm sure most people know already, but...
My number 7 is Hermione.
Okay.
For aforementioned reasons, but I think best witch of her age.
Yes.
And as you said, in the book she is but a child. And I think you've got to consider growth in skill and everything else. And I think if you were to take her to the age, maturity and experience of a lot of the other sort of age wizards that we have in our list, that's why I have her a little bit higher up, because I think you need to like take what you see in the books and scale it up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's understandable. My number 7 is Molly Weasley. So, I know a few people might find this a bit controversial. I haven't put her above Bellatrix. Everyone knows she kills Bellatrix. Fabulous moment. The reason I haven't put her above Bellatrix is because, albeit she does defeat Bellatrix, but I think, now I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've read that J.K. Rowling said Bellatrix underestimates her. Like, Molly is exceedingly powerful, no doubt about it, but J.K. Rowling wanted to show that you could be both like very devoted to your family, stay-at-home mum kind of thing, but also very powerful. Molly just doesn't show it too much. But I do think in that particular instance, Bellatrix underestimated Molly, and also Molly was
infuriated, to say the least.
Yeah, one might put it mildly, because her son had just been killed. So, let's not forget Molly and her famous line. I'm not sure, can we say that on YouTube, on your videos? Is that allowed?
Just leave the word out.
Well, no, we won't.
Okay.
I wouldn't do justice to it, but that line, everyone loves that.
I think we all know the line.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Dolohov.
Okay.
And I had him a wee bit higher up because he just has shown himself to beat many powerful wizards. And I think there's hints, could I be wrong? There's hints too in the book that also some of the spells that he uses are of his own creation.
Well, I think, are you talking about the one he uses on Hermione?
In the
5th one. He does it across her chest, it's like a streak of purple flame or something like that, I think. Yeah, it never quite goes into detail of that, but it doesn't quite say that's his own invention, but...
I'm going to draw that from it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, my number 6 is Flitwick, so above Dolohov. And the main reason for that is what you said, dueling champion, blah, blah, blah. But he is the one who defeats Dolohov in the 7th book, so that's why I ranked him above Dolohov. And he does also help Professor McGonagall, like, fight Snape. Now, we don't know if Snape was pulling punches when he was fighting McGonagall in the 7th one, but I still reckon Flitwick's pretty powerful. And he does his all his charms to protect Hogwarts in the Battle of Hogwarts. So,
a very useful character overall.
Yes, very useful indeed.
Are we on to number 5 already?
Yes, 5.
My number 5 is Slughorn.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly because I think that we can say Voldemort wants him so badly, and I think that just goes to him. We could list a whole list of his achievements, but the fact that the lengths that Voldemort goes through to recruit him,
Slughorn
and
has
win
to go
him
into
over
hiding for a year.
Yeah, to win him over multiple times. I think that we can agree that Voldemort is not stupid in regards to who is good to have on your side, if you can get them. So I just think that amongst his whole other list of good things, the fact that Voldemort wants him so badly is a good recommendation, if you could put it that way.
I'd also just like to add that Slughorn, powers aside, but he's a nice character in terms of what Slytherins can be. Like, he's actually a good-hearted Slytherin. Well, maybe not good, quite self-interested, but he's not on the dark side. So he kind of shows what Slytherins can be when you're not going and killing half the
Another,
world.
I think, important character that's maybe not given his status and his sort of overall importance.
I think he's quite an interesting character. Like, he's quite grey morally at times, I think. And
I think he brings a lot of... He's grey, but he brings a lot of colour to this story, almost. A bit of depth.
Yeah. Okay, what were we at 5? My number 5 is Kingsley Shacklebolt. Shacklebolt. Mainly because we're told he's a pretty excellent Auror. He's assigned with protecting the Muggle Prime Minister. He does fight in the Department of Mysteries, but Bellatrix beats him, so you might have guessed she's above him.
Yeah.
But he later becomes Minister of Magic, like straight after the Battle of Hogwarts. I think he becomes it permanently after a while. I think he becomes it temporarily and then
because of like the crisis.
And then after Moody is killed, when they're taking Harry away from Privet Drive, Voldemort goes from Moody straight to Kingsley, so clearly Voldemort thought Kingsley was a bit of a threat. So, yeah, it's Kingsley.
Kingsley's not on my list, but he was considered.
Okay. You know who I'm just realising I forgot? Tonks. But
me too.
This was quite tricky to make a list because you could only put one per, well, bar my Lily and James thing, but we didn't want to put more than one person on each level, so you couldn't put people who we thought were of equal power beside each other. So there are a few names missing who should
Which
probably
did,
be
because
there.
we maybe thought they were tied with somebody, but they didn't deserve to go above or below them, below them or above them.
Above or
So they
below.
just ended up kind of almost getting lost.
Yeah.
My fourth was Harry.
Okay.
And I don't think there needs to be really much said. I think a lot. I wouldn't put him. I was gonna put him a lower, but I just kept. And I know that like a lot of his power isn't his own, if that makes sense.
You're gonna have to explain that one to me.
Okay, so like the whole like Lily's love thing, and he's protected a lot through the series by other people, and he's not shown in school to be the best in the year. We would say Hermione is academically brighter than he is, but like the dude wins. I find it really hard to like take that out of the equation. Like it's put on him and he delivers.
I think, yeah, no, in fairness, like, yeah, I quite like Harry as a hero. And as an aside, I think he gets a lot of bad press in the 5th book, like, for being moody. I'm like, everyone's moody when they're being a teenager. Like, come on. And he's just seen a bloke die.
He's incredibly important to him.
Yeah. The government is, like, running a smear campaign against him. And he's been, like, someone's tried to murder him several times. And he's got a crazy teacher who, like, mutilates his hand. Like, I think he's allowed to be a little bitchy. Oh, moody.
Moody.
Sorry.
I don't monetize my videos anyway, so it doesn't matter.
But I wouldn't say he's the most powerful of. I think it's like a combination. In fairness to him, he is talented, but I think it's a combination of his nerve, his daring and nerve put Gryffindors
And the
apart.
sort of support that's rallied around him.
Yeah.
But and we got to take into his bloodline, like James and Lily's son.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be pretty powerful.
That's fair. And I suppose he does become head of the Auror office when he's older. So it's kind of like Hermione. What is his potential in the end?
What is his potential at the end? And I think he has a lot of setbacks. Like, kind of like Neville. He's a lot to deal with before he even gets to magic.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
the Dursleys, child abusers, discuss. That's a video for another
it's a
time,
wonder
I
he
think.
can tie his shoelaces.
It really is.
Let alone cast the spell.
He's such a nice young kid as well. Like
He's mannered, and
Yeah,
I value manners a lot. So
anyway,
so that's why I put Harry at number 4. I don't think he's as high, even taking into consideration like the fact that he's a child. I don't think he's as high because, as I said, I think a lot of his power comes from like other people and circumstances and things. But I definitely think he would be up there.
okay. My number 4 is Moody. So similar reasons to yourself for like why I put him, but because he best Auror the Ministry ever had. I think it's like Bill says it or something, like the 4th book. He takes in a ton of Death Eaters, but he also does it without trying to kill people. Usually, like he avoids killing them if he
it's
can.
more like captured and taken to trial.
Yeah, which I feel you must have to have some skill to do that rather than blasting a Vada Kedavra in someone's face. So that. Voldemort also goes straight for Moody because Moody says Voldemort will go for the most experienced and grizzled Aurors, which, like, clearly it shows that Voldemort thinks he's a threat, but Moody is also pretty tactical as well.
Yeah.
Now, I know that's not quite magical power, but
Yeah.
it's definitely some knowledge and expertise. But unfortunately, we all know he gets blasted in the face and falls off his broom, which is unfortunate.
Not a nice way to go.
Not a nice way to go.
Mm-mm.
Actually, I'm just realising who I've forgotten on my list, and I think it's hard to put him on because you don't really see him a huge amount. Barty Crouch Jr. And I know he overpowered Moody with Peter Pettigrew's help.
Mm-hmm.
But he did perform a Confundus charm on the Goblet of Fire, and Voldemort calls him like his I can't remember the exact phrase, but in his 4th one he calls him like his most loyal Death Eater and that kind of thing. So
I think you've got to take in sort of his prior history, like pre the books.
Yeah, I think had he been a character like you could have seen outside of the 4th one, it could have been quite interesting.
True.
But that's an aside.
No, he didn't make my list either.
Okay, top 3.
We're on to 3. My number 3 is a McGonagall.
Okay.
Because, as we said before, Transfiguration is meant to be the hardest subject, at which she is, I think, beyond pro.
Yeah.
And to be Dumbledore's right hand, like, you gotta be good. I think, like we said, that Voldemort wanted Slughorn, which recommends him. I think the fact that Dumbledore trusts McGonagall so much recommends her.
Fair. McGonagall is on my list, but she's not number 3. Bellatrix is my number 3. For the reason being, Voldemort, I think it's in the 7th one when she dies, is like she gets called his last and best lieutenant, and even Harry, I think Harry said she's like witch of prodigious skill, so she's clearly pretty good. She beats Moody in the Department of Mysteries, beats Tonks. I think she maybe beats Kingsley in that fight as well. I think so. Yeah, I think
could be right.
I think she takes out all 3 of them and manages to deflect a spell from Dumbledore, the only Death Eater to do so in that battle, and manages to take on Hermione, Luna, and Ginny. And let's not forget, Luna and Ginny are pretty awesome in their own right, along with Hermione. True. So she takes on 3 at once. Yes, she gets killed by Bellatrix. A very bittersweet moment, to be honest, I thought, because, I mean, she was a psycho, but I loved her. But yeah, still pretty spectacular.
My number 2 is Bellatrix.
Okay, thought that was coming.
For aforementioned reasons, I just happened to put her 1 up.
Fair enough. My number 2 is McGonagall.
Could see that coming too.
McGonagall, simply because, yeah, she goes toe-to-toe with Voldemort in the 7th one. Goes toe-to-toe with Snape. Again, we don't know if Snape was pulling punches then or not.
Yeah.
But, like, she's still pretty talented. Becomes an animagus, which is pretty accomplished. And I just love the fact that she leads a herd of galloping desks during the Battle of Hogwarts. Also great fun. It's
almost Beauty and the Beast style, when the wardrobe and all attacks. That's what that makes me think of.
It really is. And Pier Totem Locomotor, I know that's movies, but always wanted to use that spell. Fantastic moment. So, yeah, I just think McGonagall... And let's not forget, like, the lady's frail. Like, she's pretty old, and she takes 4 stunners to the chest.
Yeah.
Goes to hospital for a bit, and then it's like, alright, I'm back. Like, that's pretty good going. She's pretty fantastic. And Maggie Smith's a gem, so...
Not being a movie lover, or, well, a lover of the Harry Potter movies, that didn't really even come into my consideration, but you're quite right.
But to be honest, I'm not a fan of the movies either, apart from some key bits, and Maggie Smith is one of them. So.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I don't know if our number 1's going to be the same or not.
Bellatrix was your number 2, wasn't she? Yes. Okay. Who's your number 1?
Do we want to say it in unison?
No, I want to hear yours first.
Okay. And this is a character that we both despise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's the same one then.
But I'm going with Snape.
Yeah.
Did you go with Snape too?
Yeah, Snape's my number 1 as well.
Now, this is outside of Dumbledore, Grindelwald, and Voldemort. Yes. You need to remember that.
I think, did you go Dumbledore, Voldemort, Grindelwald in terms of how those 3 were ranked?
No, I put Voldemort above Grindelwald.
Yeah. Yeah, Dumbledore, Voldemort,
Grindelwald. Yeah.
Okay. So Snape is then number 4 in general rankings. What are your reasons then for him?
See Half-Blood Prince, basically.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Like, all those, like, spells and all he came up with, like, is pretty impressive for the age of him.
I'll just recreate the potion manual.
Yeah.
When I'm, like, 16 years old.
His skill in potions and Defense of Dark Arts, so he has, like, 2 hard subjects that he is really, really high up in. Can't he fly without a broom?
Yep, Voldemort teaches him how to fly. So...
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, only 1 of 2 wizards that we're told of can do that. Sirius says he knows more dark spells than half the 7th years when he was in 1st year, so pretty impressive. And let's be honest, when Harry fights him very briefly in the 6th one, he just messes with Harry. Like, I always love it when Harry says, "I'd love to meet Snape in a fight." Like after Voldemort, after Dumbledore's funeral, I'm like, Harry, sit back down. Like, Snape would, I would just stomp you into the floor. And let's not forget that Snape managed to deceive Voldemort for must have been about 13 years, roughly. No, sorry, longer. And however many years he was playing double agent, was lying to Voldemort. The most skilled legerdemains. So Snape's
Yes, we have to take that into account too.
Snape's a very skilled occlumens. Mm-hmm. We won't go into his character because we both hate him with a burning passion. But yeah, in terms of powers, Snape's pretty up there.
Snape's Trump. I think we done really well.
I have to say I did struggle with who was more powerful, Snape or McGonagall. But I think in terms of all-roundedness, I would have to give it to Snape. Just about.
Yeah.
It would be very close though.
I think it could be very close, but I think the book gives us a better look into Snape's powers.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if you knew everything, it would be closer, but I think the books go a lot more into, like, Snape's backstory and how skilled he was even as a child and all that kind of stuff, which we don't get for McGonagall.
McGonagall, we get a few bits, but, like,
yeah,
even when
it's not the same level.
Even in kind of from getting rid of Snape in the Battle of Hogwarts, we only really have a couple of paragraphs really about her. Yeah, but there we go. Yeah, I think we did pretty well.
I thought we were going to be, like, really controversial and, like, totally disagree and not have any matches.
The main one I take issue with is Harry Potter, but
you can see why I put him there.
I can, unfortunately.
And then who did you have that instead of Harry? So I had Harry and you didn't have him on your list at all. Most of our other ones were just mixed up. So who did you have that I didn't have?
I think I put Molly on. You didn't have Molly.
I didn't have Molly on. And again, she was in that kind of James and Lily kind of group that was battling for number 10th that I just couldn't decide on. So I decided to...
There were quite a few ones I was kind of like... I mean, Lupin's quite powerful. I think...
Sirius as well.
Sirius is powerful. Like, Sirius does manage to go toe-to-toe with Bellatrix.
I think you could put any of the Order of the Phoenix basically on the list. I think the Longbottoms and stuff as well, like you could put any of them on.
I was kind of gutted that we never saw more of them.
Yeah.
Who else was... There was someone else I was going to say. Let's not forget Amelia Bones. Well, we should do some honourable mentions. I suppose that's what this is.
Do you know who I would put for an honourable mention? Regulus.
Yeah, okay. I can kind of see it.
He got a one-up on Voldemort. And what was he? He was only like 19 when he died, so he was still really only a child.
I just like the fact that Regulus basically nicked Voldemort's stuff and left a guess who note.
Yeah, he got a one-up on Voldemort as basically a child, so that has to go in his favour, I think.
I quite like Amelia Bones, just because one, I think should be a great laugh, and two, Voldemort. There's all the evidence apparently that Voldemort killed her personally, and she puts up a fight. So clearly, that's quite gutsy to do that. Mm-hmm. Any Aberforth?
Aberforth. What about Wormtail?
No, I think he's a prat.
He's a prat, but he has some skill.
Yeah, well, I suppose he did become an animagus.
Yeah, he did show. He showed skill. He did show skill.
Unfortunately, so I wouldn't say he's not in my top 10. I don't.
No, he wouldn't be on the top 10, but I think he's sort of seen as very weak, and that's true in some ways. But in magical skill, I don't think. I suppose
in comparison to like James, Sirius, and Lupin, who all were quite powerful, like he's always compared to them. But I suppose like he's kind of like the Neville of the other ones. I would say not.
Personality wise,
yeah, I'm
but like
not getting a lot of hate for that. But no, Neville's pretty cool. Any others? I think actually Fred and George. I know one loses an ear, but that's just bad aim on Snape's part, and Fred got blown up accidentally. Still a sad moment. But like Hermione acknowledges that they have pretty good magic.
Yeah, when they
make all their joke stuff.
The wizard wheezies things. They make,
stuff.
They make the best love potion and all, apparently.
Basically, roofies for wizards.
And they're legal.
Tonks, obviously.
Yes, they make our list.
Yes. Luna, Lovegood. Manages to fight alongside.
Any of the Weasleys, really.
Luna's Lovegood.
Yeah, I know, but any of the Weasleys.
Oh, right, okay.
Because when you said Luna, then I was thinking of Ginny. We'd already said like Ginny, but I think you can put any of the Weasleys, really.
Ginny's awesome, I love Ginny. You know who I think gets a lot of hate, in the books especially, but not enough attention? Fleur Delacour. Like, she gets into the Triwizard Tournament, which, in fairness, it's tough. And then she gets called Phlegm for the rest of the books, basically. Which I
think is hilarious.
It's a great name, but I mean, she does do her bits. Like, she's pretty good, and she just gets the head done, gets the job done, kind of thing. So, props to Fleur.
It's not her fault, she's French. Well, I think on that note we will leave it. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all healthy, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.
Bye.